Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and I want to talk to you today about traps, because traps have been a really integral part of dungeon exploration since, well, ever, ever, in pretty much any genre. And the thing is that we don't see very many original traps all over the place. But that is something that Nord Games, thanks to a very successful Kickstarter campaign, has sorted out for you. Today I bring you Treacherous Traps, an absolutely gorgeous tome full of evil, wickedness, and deliciously malignant ideas to destroy your characters in the worst possible way. Which I know sounds a lot worse saying it than actually playing it. But is this book actually worth the amount of money that you have to pay, or in my case I had to back, to get my hands on it? I am about to tell you. Welcome to the GMS Magazine RPG review videos. When I say review, I'm not going to review trap by trap because spoilers, and I haven't read the whole thing yet. So it would be disingenuous of me to try to pretend that I can tell you everything about this book. I cannot, but I can tell you a number of things. Firstly, I can tell you that it's absolutely fantastically well produced. It is a full color hardback, as in very hardback book, in an A4 size, American template letter size book that comes with a not bad 172 pages, including legal. The binding is fantastic and it's been very well looked after. The layout is quite simple with 2 columns, and there is plenty of information all over the place. The illustrations are gorgeous. There aren't an awful lot of them, unfortunately. I wish this was a little bit more lavishly illustrated, but the illustrations inside the book, they truly are delightful. Absolutely love every single one of them. And one of the reasons I like them so much is because they have been very well art directed and chosen to display some sort of interaction or preemption to traps, like there is in this one here, or here with this kobolds teaching about how to set a trap, or here in this warehouse or lab as to design how I design them, this engineering. Here everything is related to traps, which is very good. It just feels like they've paid a lot of attention to it, which is great. So, what do we get in this book? Unfortunately, the table of content doesn't really say an awful lot. It's not particularly detailed, which is a pity, because apart from understanding, the introduction and how to use the traps, but level 1 to 4 traps doesn't tell us if they are or sorted in a particular way. It just says 1 to 4 traps, but it doesn't say anything else. Or levels 5 to 8. We only know that between pages 10 and 86, we're going to get levels 1 to 20 traps, which is good, very good. You can choose very carefully what trap you're going to use for your characters, and then we have some complex traps as well. We're going to take a look at them in a minute. The thing I like it as well is that you can design your own traps. It gives you some advice about how to do it, and random trap generation, which is great. So, how to use the traps? You basically explain how what the entries means for everything else, what the trigger, what is the effect, and what are the countermeasures, which is very good, because that is something that also an awful lot of games forget to provide. If you have, how do you defuse a trap? What are the countermeasures for it? You just roll a die and that's it and it's done. Well, with this, you can help to do a little bit more than that and diffuse them in different ways, which is brilliant. I really, really like them. Going a little bit further, some things that I do like is that it shows you how to design dungeons that have traps within its core. Because just adding a trap, who built it? Why? Who designed it? How long did it take to create? Is this even realistic to have that sort of trap in there? So the fact that, you know, you get traps that are designed specifically for dungeons, designed specifically for traps, is a pretty good thing. Some puzzles, which is very good. So again, I'm not going to go into great detail because I haven't read the whole thing, but what I have read, I do like the wicked viciousness of this book. It doesn't really hold any punches, and this is not to say that every single trap is lethal, none at all, but every single trap is usable, and every single trap you have to take care of it. This is not to be treated lightly, and that I like, because if anything, this book is going to help you surprise your characters, and that we don't get enough of. So do I recommend getting this? Yes. Am I fully happy about this? No. There are two things I think this should implement. One, actually very, very important, an index. Seriously. The fact that we get a way too simple table of content. Way too simple. This is not telling me much about anything. And at the end, we don't get an index. Considering how many different names there are in pretty much every single page in here, being able to choose where to go. Because if I'm writing my own adventure and I want to do a reference to this book, and I write in my notes this thing, unless I write in what page it is, there is no index here where I can go and take a look and say, oh, so and so and so. So if anybody else is going to run that adventure, it's just harder. This, it should have an index. I know it's a pain. I've indexed books. It's a pain. This should have an index. Having said that, that's the only criticism I have, and I don't think that that should be enough to put off anybody. So if you're looking for a book full of really nasty traps, this is definitely for you. Thank you very much indeed for being there. It is truly appreciated. Please do leave me your comments down there if you have already read this book, or if you have more ideas, or if you didn't like it, or if you did, because I love to hear what you have to say. But until the next time, I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.